Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Rebecca Harvey, and today let's talk a little bit about your breath. So I often work with my clients on their breath for a number of different reasons, and we're going to talk about some of those reasons and some different ways that noticing your breath can be helpful for you. One reason I talk to my clients about breath is in an effort to regulate their anxiety. I often have clients come in and they tell me they've been struggling with anxiety for many years, and when I ask if they've ever had someone work with them on their breath, they say yes, and then they proceed to show me that they take a deep breath by going like this. As you can see, that was a big chest movement that happened when I did that. And while it seems like that might be a pretty deep breath, that upward moving breath actually activates my nervous system. So when we think about breath, we need to think about two things, really important. We breathe down to calm down our nervous system, and we breathe up to wake up our nervous system. So if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling overly activated, the thing that you want to do is to breathe down into your belly. Get that big Buddha belly, that big released, relaxed belly, and let that deep belly breath begin to calm your nervous system down. When I teach my meditation courses, I often find that people struggle with getting their breath down into their belly. And part of this is because in our society, it's really promoted for us to walk around with these tight bellies pulled in. What happens is we're not utilizing that low breath to help regulate our nervous system. Beyond regulating our nervous system, it also begins to help with that massaging action of our organs, so moving fresh blood in and out. This actually helps to kind of wring out that old funky blood that's in there and bring that new oxygenated blood into the organs. It also helps with things like peristalsis, which is the contraction and release of your intestines, which helps to move toxicity out of your body by moving waste out of your body. The other organs of your body obviously also need that kind of massage movement to help function optimally. This includes your liver, your spleen, your kidney, your intestines. All of these organs really require us to use that belly breath. So if you're someone who's having difficulty getting that breath down into your belly, I would suggest you place one hand on your belly and one on your chest, laying on your back, and begin to notice your breath in this way. Then you can really begin to see where your breath is kind of loading into your body, if you will, and how you might go about adjusting your breath accordingly. For those of you who have a difficulty, like I've encountered many times with clients, you might have to really work to get that stomach to release, those muscles to release, because they're so used to being held tightly. Moving on to chest breath. If we are in a sullen state, if we are humdrum, if we're in kind of a depressed, funky mode, and we breathe into our chest, that actually wakes up and activates our nervous system, which can be a really great thing if you're feeling low in energy. So if you think of the body language of a depressed person, it's kind of this rounded, sunken chest and this hanging belly, right? This kind of posture. Maybe not that dramatic, but you get the idea. And in doing so, it's like this collapse in the chest prevents oxygen from really being able to move into the chest. So if you're feeling in that funky low space, try breathing into your chest a bit more, getting that expansive stretch into your upper lungs, and allow that to begin to wake up your nervous system. Okay, so as I'm talking about these two different things, you might already begin to see the picture here, which is we really want an activation of both, right? So we want to keep this nice balanced breath between our chest and our belly. It's a nice wave movement where it leads actually from the belly and then into the chest and then releases back out. So we get this nice wave movement from belly to chest and belly to chest. And as we keep this nice free breath moving between the full expansion of the lungs, lower and upper, we create a balance in our nervous system. So we are alert enough to be able to function optimally and be able to achieve the things that we want to achieve in our day. But we're relaxed enough that we're not spiking cortisol and stressing our body out. So finding balance in life is important in so many places, and breath is one of those key places. As we begin to observe our breath, we might begin to notice various patterns in our breath across different situations or between different situations. When we notice the patterns of our breath, we can begin to see how we are impacting our nervous system and thus our mood, our mental state, and our way of engaging in that moment. So for instance, those of you who have stress or anxiety about driving, you might start to attend to what you're doing with your breath while you're driving. Is your breath even and free? Are you pulling it down into your belly? Or are you staying in this activated, energized, up breath nervous system state? If you have a relationship in which you have struggles at work or in your home, you might also pay attention there. Are you breathing into your chest? Are you holding your breath? Doing things like this actually impact the way that we engage with those around us. So start to notice your breath and start to notice the amazing ways that you can begin to take charge of your life in small, simple steps. Now, I mentioned that there are a couple of reasons that I would discuss about why I really love a focus on the breath. So we've talked about the regulation of the nervous system and how utilizing your breath can help to regulate that emotional, mental space that we find ourselves in, specifically in regard to high or low energy, which we might associate with anxiety or depression. We can also use our breath to begin to develop a mindfulness practice. When we tune into our breath, we are present with this exact moment. So we're not holding on to what the breath was before or what our next breath might be like. We're staying with this breath, and we begin to notice the various nuances and qualities of that breath. Without judgment, we just pay attention. If you begin to pay attention to things like the length of your inhale compared to the length of your exhale, noticing the depth of your breath, noticing if it's smooth and even, or if you hold it or find that it's choppy at any point. Just really noticing everything and anything you can about it. You're fully present in this moment with your breath. So in doing that, we begin to create this mindful awareness of this exact moment and cultivate that meditative quality or that mindful space and ability. This has many far-reaching impacts, which I've talked about in other videos, including things like helping you to reduce reactivity and impulsivity, and learn to kind of pause, be mindful about what's going on with you emotionally, mentally, physically, before you're choosing how you want to respond and go forward. Creating that little brief moment of mindful space before we choose how to proceed in any given moment allows us to really cultivate a better life quality. Our relationships flourish because we're not being as reactive, we're really watching our words and our behaviors. Making a more purposeful or choiceful impact in the world benefits us exponentially. And it's a wonderful way to begin to slowly and easily cultivate a mindfulness meditation practice. There's abundant research on the benefits of having a meditation practice. What I really want to stress here is that you can cultivate or begin to develop that practice with small and simple effort. You don't have to sit down for 30 minutes or an hour a day to begin to do amazing things for your body by developing this mindfulness meditation practice. You can find these many mindful moments throughout your day and start to do fantastic and amazing things for yourself. Okay, so breath, super important. Breath is going to help you create a mindful awareness about what's going on for you internally and externally. And breath is going to help you learn to take control of regulating that nervous system, rather than oftentimes we feel like our nervous system is in charge of us. So we can utilize what we know about breath and mindfulness to work toward total wellness, or optimizing that balance between mind, body, and spirit. Again, I'm Dr. Rebecca Harvey with Total Wellness Consultants. Please feel free to leave feedback and let me know if you guys have any questions. See you next time.